So, David, welcome to Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. You know, I'm amazed at the response. It's been overwhelming. My kids' reactions were very funny. My son was more or less unaffected by it all, much more excited the Leafs had lost the previous night. He hates the Leafs. But my daughter, I've never seen her so pumped. I said to her, "You weren't proud of the Wealthy Barber?" And she goes, "Dad, that's a book. This is a TV show. This is popular. This is real." So she's very excited. My mom and dad are pumped up. It's really been a neat reaction.
Let's talk a little bit just about your background growing up. Tell us about that. Where did you grow up?
Honestly, I've probably had the greatest life of anybody I know. It sounds funny, but I've been charmed. I'm never sick. I have fantastic parents. You know, I'm so lucky. They're still a huge part of my life, and they're a big part of my kids' lives as well. I grew up in Kitchener-Waterloo. I've never moved. I don't plan on moving. I live in a little tiny house cut out of a farm outside of Bamberg, Ontario, near the farmers market in Waterloo. I went to Wilfrid Laurier University and was really lucky to have the Wealthy Barber come into my life at such a young age. I'm not that sharp a guy. I'm really not. I came up with one good idea, and I've milked it for a long, long time. And the book just took off when I was 25, 26, and led me to all kinds of other opportunities too. So I really have been a very charmed guy, and most of the good things that came my way were a result of the Wealthy Barber's original success.
But there's never that moment when you've gone, "Hey, I'm the Wealthy Barber. Hey, I'm the new dragon," and you're
honestly,
like
not
high
at all.
on David Chilton.
Oh my gosh, I hang around myself way too much to get high on David Chilton. And I think the thing too is I stayed true to my roots. I still hang around all my friends from young ages, from public school even. That keeps you humble. My kids keep me humble. No, there's no risk of any of that happening. Trust me. Now, when the dragon thing hit, I didn't realize again until the night they announced it just how big it was. I was excited about it, but when I started getting emails and tweets were going all around, I was going, "Holy smokes, this is huge!" And I didn't sit back and go, "Wow, I'm a dragon," but I went, "Wow, I'm a dragon." Like it really did hit me that night that it was big. I stayed up till 4:30 in the morning, returning all the emails.
So why did you want to be part of Dragon's Den? What's the attraction?
Well, I love entrepreneurship. I mean, that sounds like a corny answer, but I really do. I've invested in the past in young entrepreneurs. I have been an entrepreneur my entire career. Nobody will hire me. I've had to go out and create my own enterprises. And my friends and family love the show, and that drew me to it initially. And I think it's excellent. There's so much action in the show. There's no fluff. There's no kind of stuff on the side that draws your attention away. It's all about the pictures and the reactions, and I think it's one of Canada's best shows.
Now, of course, most people know you for your very, very successful books, The Wealthy Barber. But the Wealthy Barber approach seems to me to be about being quite cautious, saving your money. Of course, on Dragon's Den, we want to see dragons spend their money.
Yeah, but I think spend is the wrong word. You're investing.
Yes,
right. You're not spending per se, you're investing, and I'm not going to be indiscriminate, but I think I'll invest a fair amount. I mean, I've seen a number of pitches in the last couple of years that I've been really drawn to, and I think there are a lot of good opportunities. There are a lot of smart people, and I think the show has picked up such momentum now. The quality of the pictures has continued to go up year after year after year as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. I know if I spend too much, I'll have to borrow some from the other dragons at some point or get them to fund my business, but no, I really am excited about the whole thing.
How would you describe your investing profile in the sense of what sort of businesses you'd be interested in? I mean, is there a way to describe what it is that you find exciting as a good investment?
More about the people, I think, for me. I mean, obviously you have to pay attention to the valuation, the numbers, and the potential, and can competition come in and wreak havoc, et cetera. But it's about the people, and do they have a passion, a contagious enthusiasm? Are they going to be able to go out and represent the product? Can they get other people as excited as they are? Those are all the things you're looking at, and I think it's key. And I've invested in the past in a couple of young entrepreneurs, Janet and Greta Podleski with Looney Spoons, and that's what they had. I mean, they came in, you couldn't say no. There was just something so overwhelming about their personalities, and of course it worked out wonderfully well. And I've seen pictures on the show, I think, share that same quality. So again, you're not divorcing yourself from the numbers. You have to be realistic. If they don't work, you've got to walk away. But if the people are passionate, if they got a good idea, I'm in.
Finish this statement. When I watch Dragon's Den, I can't stand the pitchers who...
I think that the only thing that's irritated me on occasion is when they don't have a good feel for their own math. So when they'll be asked about margin or be asked about the cost of goods sold and they don't know it, there's certain things you have to know. They have to be on the tip of your tongue. And I think if you're not well informed about that kind of thing, realistically, the different panelists can't make a good decisions.
So you're not living the big life. You're not in love with money. How would you describe your relationship with money? Because you mentioned you live in a 1,500 square foot
1,300.
house. 1,300.
Yeah, it's tiny.
You know, like, what do you drive?
I know. I drive a fairly nice car, but I don't know why, because I couldn't care less about it. In fact, I washed it the other day for the first time since I owned it. I'm not into material possessions at all. I don't have granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. I mean, I'd never happened. I don't get a kick out of that. I don't know. I don't get a kick out of any of that stuff. I really don't. I like my hockey pool. I love playing tennis and golf poorly, that kind of thing, and eating at the same old, and hanging around the old friends. I'm not really into all that. It's funny, I'm not that money-oriented a guy, despite the fact I've been lucky to have a lot of success with the different ventures I've been involved in. You know, Kevin and I are almost on opposite ends of the spectrum there. You know, he loves to talk about money and the importance of money, but I'm more into the relationship end of things.
So how do you measure success then, if it's not money?
Well, I think by happiness to some extent. I don't know anybody happier than I am. I honestly don't. I'm always in a good mood. And you can ask anybody that knows me, they'll say I'm always in a cheerful mood.
You're starting to make me a bit sick, actually.
I know, it's bad, isn't it? I know, but it's true, though. I'm in a good mood, because why wouldn't I be? And that's kind of the attitude I've taken, and I have been fortunate, and this is just another new challenge. I mean, this is so exciting to come on the show and do all of this. So I've been very fortunate, very blessed. And again, why wouldn't I be in a good mood? Like, there's no reason not to be.
So every dragon has a specialty, you know, in their industry and what they contribute to the Dragon's Den. How do you see your role in that? What will you be in the mix?
I tend to use a fair amount of humor, and so I'm hoping that adds a new dimension to the show, not that you haven't seen it before. And also, I'm going to try to come up with some questions that are a little unconventional, that aren't the ones you would expect to be asked. And oftentimes when I watch the show, I think of something that isn't being asked that I want to throw in there. So I think those two things more than anything else. And as far as an industry specialty, obviously my background's more in publishing than anything else, but you don't have a lot of opportunity to apply that. I think the one area where I'll be very careful of is food, because I once ran a food company. I may have been the worst manager I've ever seen. Someone once said, do you think you did a poor job? Poor would be really generous. It was below poor. I'm not sure what's below poor, but that's where I resided. So I think I'll stay away from most food opportunities. But interestingly, some of the best pitchers on the show have had food-related items and food-related ideas. So I've got to be a little careful there. I don't rule myself out of some good opportunities.
So in terms of businesses you will invest in, is there anything you won't invest in?
No, I don't think there's anything I'd rule out. Again, I'm all about the people and the idea. I think the one thing that concerns me, you see from some of the pictures, is they've got a good idea, they look like they have the potential to execute well, but there's no way they can stop the competition. There's no moat. There's no barrier to competition. That worries me a little bit. And of course, you have to pay attention to valuations. You know, Kevin and Jim both often do a great job of bringing it back to, hey, this is a pretty good idea, but you haven't priced it properly. And as the person writing a check with your own money, and you really are, you've got to be careful on that front too.
How do you feel about getting in hot tubs, dancing, wearing funny hats, and having shaving foam sprayed at your face?
Oh yeah, really excited about all of the above. Maybe not simultaneously, but no, I think that'll be fun. In fact, I like getting involved. I like when the people are getting involved with the pitchers and doing all that type of thing. You have to have a high energy to do a show like this. If you're asking the pitcher to come in and exhibit high energy and passion, you have to be giving it back. I mean, the room has to have that general feel. So I think it's phenomenal, the chemistry you see among the different dragons and how they play and interact with the pitchers. I think that's a big part of why the show is so compelling. I mean, this is a great show, and there are a lot of dimensions that work well, yourself included, and I think energy is a huge part of the success of the show.
All right, well, we'll look forward to seeing
I'm looking forward
the
to
Wealthy Dragon.
The Wealthy Dragon.
Yes.
Thank you.